Hey girls, it's Monday. So while last week on All Made of Awesome we had a fantastically gripey and tension-filled week where we talked about our pet peeves, we wanted to do something a little more uplifting for this week's theme. So, inspired by the all-female comedian channel called Sarcastics, they're fabulous, check them out, links in the doobly-doo, we are doing a week where we talk about women who inspire us, our female role models. I think this is a perfectly apropos theme to do, especially because we are an all-female channel, and to that end, I want to talk about 2 historical women who inspired me, and 2 women who are directly in my life who inspire me. The first of which I can say I know for a fact is a woman who inspires all of us, and in a move that is exploitative of the fact that my videos go up on Monday and therefore the first of the week, I'm gonna take her. Doesn't mean that you can't, but this is, of course, in case you haven't figured it out already, Jo Rowling. I find Jo Rowling's story to be incredibly inspirational, and obviously Harry Potter is very important to us, but I also find Jo as a person to be incredibly inspirational. I mean, she was so determined to overcome her mental illness for the sake of the children that she loved and the story that she was creating. That's beautiful, and that is so inspirational, and clearly, Harry Potter has been a powerful story for a lot of people, and I don't think it would be as powerful as it is if it weren't for her personality exuding on every single page. She inspires me as a writer, she inspires me as a student, and she inspires me as a person. So, Jo, thanks! I love you! The second woman who I want to talk about is perhaps less famous, but no less significant in my lifetime and in terms of history, and that is a woman by the name of Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer was instrumental in the American Civil Rights Movement, particularly in the summer of 1964, which is often referred to as the Freedom Summer when you're studying US history. The summer of 1964 was really instrumental because this was the year before the Voting Rights Act was passed, and I believe it was the year that the Equal Rights Amendment was passed. It's really crucial because this was a summer that students from the Northeast, particularly students who were white and from affluent families, came down to offer their bodily protection to communities of blacks and whites in the South that were facing incredible discrimination because of their skin color. I'm making a gross oversimplification of a very complicated event. If you want more information, I highly recommend you to look into the summer of 1964 and the Mississippi Freedom Movement, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. I think that's what it's called. It's fascinating. But Fannie Lou Hamer is really a woman who epitomizes to me the backbone of the civil rights movement, because as inspiring or provocative, so to speak, as people like Dr. King and Malcolm X were, and instrumental in getting those policies to be made for equality for every American citizen, in terms of the actual grassroots movement, where the real change was occurring, it was women like Fannie Lou Hamer and Rosa Parks who were instrumental in those changes. And as an aspiring grassroots nonviolent peace activist, Fannie Lou Hamer is she inspires me so much, and she's such a role model in my life, even if I will never get the opportunity to meet her. The third person who I want to talk about is someone who is directly involved in my life, and that's my ceramics teacher from high school. This woman abounds with life and spirit and creativity and drive, and I am not predominantly a visual artist. I really like exploring the realm of visual art, and I think I have enough talent to get by, but it's not my preferred form of artistic expression, and yet being in her classroom and learning from her artistic vision was such a joy to have when I was in high school, and she's someone who's still really involved in my life. I saw her when I was home in North Carolina, and she inspires me and motivates me, and she keeps me creative, which is really important to me, especially right now in the midst of these 5 classes and a double major. I'm starting to kind of lose my head, which is why this video is hopefully not going to take too long to edit and upload, but yeah. Staying inspired and staying creative is something that I am very grateful for. The last role model who I want to speak about is someone who's known me since before I was born, and that is, of course, my mom. My mom is my rock. She keeps me inspired, she keeps me creative, she keeps me driven, and she reminds me in the midst of this crazy 5-class semester that this is what I want to do. And as a woman who possesses 2 master's degrees, one of which she acquired while raising 3 children and working full-time, yeah, she's pretty astonishing and pretty remarkable, and even though sometimes I overlook that and sometimes I only see shortcomings because we are all human beings, I do well to remember that she is one of the most powerful and incredible people in my life, and I'm so blessed to have such a wonderful mother and someone who cares so much. And I love you, Mom. I know you watch these sometimes, so if you're watching, I love you. I'll call you and tell you that later. Those are my 4 main female role models. As a feminist, as a historian, and as someone who goes to a women's college, I have a lot more female role models who are involved in my life every single day, from my professors to my friends to people who I study in history, and that is something that I do well to remember to be grateful for. So I'm really excited for this theme. I can't wait to see the other 4 girls' choices, and Jen, I will see you tomorrow.